Hello and welcome to a new video review, this time about the Steiner M7Xi 2.9-20x50. The company Steiner Optik is located in Beirut in Germany. The company has a really rich history because it was founded already back in 1947. So it's already 75 years old, and in that time they really make a recognizable name in the civilian but also in the military market. A lot of Steiner scopes, especially the M7Xi rifle scopes, are used worldwide in military, and in 2019, Steiner introduced a new series, the M7Xi, which is a 7x zoom factor series of rifle scopes with completely redesigned turrets and scope body. Now, this particular scope, the M7Xi, the M stands for military, 7 for 7x zoom, and E for illuminated reticle, so 7X for 7x zoom. Now this particular scope has a magnification from 2.9 to 20 and has a 50mm objective lens. So the magnification is not truly 7x but 6.9x. Rifle scope is made for the harshest environment possible. As you can see, it is completely made out of metal. Exception is the magnification ring, which is rubberized, but it features a really nice throw lever. The scopes, as I said, can withstand the harshest environment and the strongest calibers. So it was tested in 50 BMG without a problem. Entire scope is nitrogen purged, but not only purged, it is also under pressure. So you can go with the scope up to 20 meters underwater and it will still be watertight and fully functional. So the scope has a adjustable eyepiece, which is very smooth. The magnification ring is also very smooth and goes from the smallest to the biggest magnification in 180-degree turn. And tactical turrets, low profile turrets with adjustable parallax. The scope is 353 millimeters long and can be directly compared to the Schmidt & Bender 3-20 ultra short. The scope is a little bit longer, but it has a very similar weight with 920 grams. It is also the same weight as, almost the same weight as the Kales 3-18. As I said, the scope is made in Germany and has a 10 years warranty. Now the outer diameter of the objective is 57 millimeters, which is important if you want to use clip-on device such as night vision or thermal. The reticle in this scope is positioned in the first focal plane, so this is a true tactical mil rifle scope. There are three types of reticles available: mil-dot, MSR2 and Tremor 3. All these reticles are available only in mil, so there is no MOA version of this scope available. The reticles can also be illuminated, and in all reticles only the middle part goes on, and the illumination control can be operated with this small turret here, and the illumination has 11 intensity settings. 6 of these are designed for low light conditions, and the other 5 are designed for bright or daytime illumination. And what I've tested on the strongest illumination, you can see the illumination even on a very bright day, but not if you aim at a white target, so only on darker targets. Now on the same turret is also the battery compartment, which is here. There is a 120 CR2032 battery inside, and on the same turret, the big one, is also the Parralax adjustment. So the Parralax is in meters, and it goes from 50 meters all the way to infinity, and it has marks up to 1000 meters. So you have a lot of space for fine-tune your adjustment, which is, in my opinion, perfect. For targets that are near, so below 50 meters, you just had to go with the magnification down and the image is still crisp. Now the turrets are low profile turrets, and the clicks on these turrets are in milliradian. So one click on this turret is exactly 1 centimeter at 100 meters. In one revolution with the elevation turret, you make exactly 15 mil of travel, and the turret has only 2 revolutions. So when you come to the second revolution, you can see here a small pin pops out, which is a visual and also mechanical turn indicator. So even if you use the scope with the gloves, you can still feel that you came to the second revolution. The entire elevation range of this scope is 27 mil, and you can see the elevation goes up to 26.7 mil, so not exactly 27 mil, but the turret goes also 3 clicks below 0. So as you can see, even if you use the scope in complete darkness, you just go back and 3 clicks back up and you are already there where you zeroed the scope in. The clicks are, in my opinion, perfect. They are very tactile, and you need a lot of force to operate the turret. So there is no need, in my opinion, for a locking function of the turret, because you really need a lot of force to adjust the turret. So there is no possibility that you could accidentally make a few clicks if you come to some obstacle, or let's say if you take it out of the back. So I really like this, and it makes easier, and you can really directly make your adjustment without anything else, let's say, pull out or push it down. Now the Windage Turret has 6 mil of adjustment in each direction, and you cannot go further, so there is no possibility that you could accidentally make an error that you come back to the zero to the opposite direction. This is in my opinion perfect, especially for a rifle scope that is used daily from military personnel. What I find is that the lines are very narrow in between, so if you look on the scope from a different angle, not perfectly from behind the rifle scope, you could easily make an error for one click up or down, depending from which direction you see or you look. The Windage Turret has no indicator when you're on the zero, so the click on the zero is not stronger. And what I would prefer, because I know this scope has more travel than there is on the turret, if Steiner could make more clicks available for the scope. So yes, the scope, as I said, is perfectly designed for use for the military, and the clicks are just great. I really like them. What I forgot to mention is the easy zeroing. When you're on the range, you just make your adjustment, and then you just have to unscrew these two small screws located here and here, and then you can turn the turret already back so the zero is facing forwards. When you screw the screws back inside, you're already set. Now it is a little bit more complicated if you have to zero the scope behind the zero, so in the opposite direction, because you have only 3 clicks available. Now if this happens, you make a shot, and then is the easiest way you measure the impact with the reticle, how many mils you need, and then you unscrew the 2 screws I mentioned, and then go so many clicks up, and then screw the 2 screws back in. And when you come back to the zero, the scope should be already sighted in. The optical performance, the scope has more than 94% of light transmission, so it is very bright, and because it has a 50mm objective lens, you can really use the scope even into lower light conditions. It is surely not as bright like a 56mm objective lens rifle scope, but it is very usable. Now, as I said, the scope has a magnification from 2.9 to 20, and the zoom factor is 6.9 times. On the smallest magnification, the field of view is 12 meters at 100 meters, and on the biggest magnification it is 1.78 meters at 100 meters. The eye relief is from 82 to 87 millimeters, and I have to say you have a lot of space when you're behind the rifle scope for looking, so the eye box is also very good, and also on the biggest magnification. It is better on the smallest magnification, but it is very good also on the biggest one. And especially the eye relief, I want to say, you can really make a lot of adjustment forwards or backwards and you still have a perfect image. Now, what do you get in the box? First of all, very high quality flip-up covers made of some kind of plastic, but are really good. The objective cover on the ocular can be even locked on the back position. Then you get a cleaning cloth, a hex wrench for zeroing, and the instructions manual where you find everything about the scope, even about the bigger magnification rifle scope, so 4-28, and also the IFS versions are inside, which is the exact scope like this, but it has a electronics inside for calculating the elevation and windage depending on the environment and conditions. And now for a short summary. First of all, what do I like about this scope is the build quality. As you would expect from a premium company like Steiner Optik, the scope is really well made. All the parts on this scope are well machined. The operation is very smooth. There is no wobbling whatsoever, and yeah, the scope is made on the highest level possible. Then the optical quality. It is very sharp on the entire magnification range and all the way to the edges, and also the colors, yeah, they are very accurate. There is no how should I say, the colors are as they should be. Even though the scope has a little bit of chromatic aberration, which is mostly visible only on white targets, so it's not a big thing, I would say. Next, the Parralax adjustment. It is, in my opinion, perfect because you have really a lot of space for adjustments and you can really precisely adjust to your target. Illumination is great because you have night and day brightness levels. And what I especially like about the scopes are the turrets. They are some of the best on the market. They are low profile, the clicks are great, they are very tactile and tangible, and what do I like is that you need more force to adjust, because this eliminates the possibility that you can accidentally make a few clicks if you, like I said before, come to an obstacle and you hit the turret. Then the turn indicator, I like it. That's it's not complicated and you really see and feel it. The turret is easy to zero, and the Windage Turret, I like it that you cannot go further, so you cannot make an adjustment for going back to the zero to the opposite direction. Now, the scope, as I said, starts with the price at approximately 3,000 euros. So it is expensive, but for what the scope offers, it's a realistic price, I would say. And now, where do I see room for improvements? First of all, the overall length. It is a pretty long scope. There are some scopes shorter with a bigger magnification, and since this scope can be directly compared to the Schmidt & Bender 3-20 Police Marksman 2, the ultra short one, it is longer, but it is similar in weight, and also the weight is also similar like the Kales 3-18. So yeah, it's only the length what I would say it's a little bit more. Then the lines on the Windage turret, in my opinion, they should be a little bit more wider one from each other, because if you look from an angle you can easily see for one click difference that you are actually in. Harder click on the 0 would also be great, because then you could operate also in complete darkness and you could feel when you come to the hard click, you would know you're on the 0. The next thing is reticles. I like the reticles that are now inside, but I would not recommend buying such a scope with a mil-dot reticle, because MSR2 is much better in my opinion, and you can make, or you can read much more precisely your targets or your corrections at bigger distances. I would really like from Steiner that they introduce a Christmas tree style reticle for their high-end models like this one, because I think this is the biggest let's say problem, that we don't see these scopes at long range competition or extended long range competitions. And lastly, on the turret, I would really like that the turret has marks, or not only marks, or only that it is available more clicks, and especially in the elevation turret, because now you are only at 27 mil, but we all know today there are many shooters that use such scopes for extended long range where 27 mils is simply not enough. And as I said, I know this scope features more internal elevation, so it would be great if there would be more clicks available to the upper side. Okay, this was a short video review of the Steiner M7Xi 2.9-20x50 rifle scopes. If you have any additional questions, click the link below, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.